Alright folks, how you doing? RussellTrueResults303.com. Check out the website, link in the description box, Mind, Body, Spirit, Fitness. Putting the healing back in health. Once again, when you're at the website, sign up for the free newsletter, instant updates on what's going on. Check out the podcast. It's about to be on iTunes as well. So once again, it'll be available for everybody. We're on I just released episode 4. Episode 5 will be coming out. And then, once again, just let somebody know that this information's out there. It'll help me out, and if it's helping you, I know it's going to help someone else. Or it could be something that doesn't relate to you, but it could be helping someone else that you know. Someone that might have a similar interest as me. And, once again, it's like I always say, you might not agree with everything that I talk about, but what works for you, take. The stuff you don't understand, you don't like, throw it away. Don't worry about watching it, right? So this was going to be the truth about the truth. I've made a lot of videos here in the last week, maybe not a couple videos, the truth about freedom, the truth about free will, the truth about, I don't know, maybe I only have 2. But now I'm doing one on the truth about the truth. Because unfortunately, we're in a world now of political correctness where we don't want to say anything that's going to offend somebody. We don't want to look like the bad guy. Unfortunately, there's always going to be someone that hates you. You can't please everybody. So we might as well go with speaking the truth. And, speaking the truth is always going to be something that is going to challenge someone. But in the long run, they'll always, if they're going to truly admit to themselves, they're going to appreciate you for it, because they don't ever get that from anyone else. It's the same concept of, they say, a person that just surrounds themselves with yes men, like a business that, a president or a CEO that just surrounds himself with yes men is going to most likely fail in the long run, because there's no one challenging his point of view. There's no one that is pushing him to say, hey, what about this? What about that? You need that happy medium. Same concept of, you're not always going to be perfect at everything. So you always want to find someone and hire that person that has a strength that is your weakness. Because now you become a more well-rounded company, because you're finding people that have strengths where you don't. Okay? So what is the truth about the truth? And this is a big thing. I hope I don't mess this up. But I've listened to a few of mine, and usually I got this concept from listening to my Catholic talks. I'm not going to lie. But there is the truth. And there's two types of truth. Like they say, there's the objective truth, and there's the subjective truth. And unfortunately, we are looking at the world subjectively, which is the subject. I am the subject, right? I am the subject. And the way we look at it, that's that political correctness. It's what's right for me might not be right for you. Those are your beliefs, and hey, that's you. That's not me. That's you. You do what you want to do. Leave me alone to do mine. And then the unfortunate thing is that is misguided. That's not truth. You know what I mean? It is seriously not truth. We need the objective truth. And I hate to say, because this is one of the best examples. I had this conversation with a girl that I'm hanging out with now. We got on the homosexual marriage, the same-sex marriage thing, and I was talking to her because I got a new client who's a politician and a Catholic man. And we talked about it, and the main thing that it comes down to is if they don't believe in the Bible, I can't come at them biblically, right? I can't come at a same-sex attracted person, a homosexual person, on biblical terms. It doesn't make any sense. So then we can go to the law of nature, right? And the law of nature says only a man and a woman can create a baby, right? I didn't create that rule. That's nature. If we want reproduction and we want to carry on the human, the being, the seed, you want to carry on your seed, you need a male. That's why most men want to have at least one child, because it carries on the name. Right? Does that make sense? Or I can do it in that instead of bringing up homosexuality. It's going to carry on the name. So, yes, I can come at you and say, oh, in the Bible it says blah, 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 blah. But if you don't believe in the Bible, you don't give two turds, right? So it's nature that says that. It's not me. That's why it's wrong. Nature says it's wrong. That's not me. But, that's where we got to understand that there are certain truths. It's not what works for me doesn't work, that's fine. You do what you want. No, there are certain truths in this world that go down the line for everybody. It is what it is. If you jump off of a building, you're going to smash into the ground. If you don't have a parachute on, right? That's just fact. You can't jump off a building and expect to fly. That's a truth. The truth is, if you jump off that building, you will die. Right? The truth is if I eat crappy food and I eat like crap 99% of the time, and I smoke and I do drugs 99% of the time, you can never say 100, but 99% of the time, you're going to get cancer, you're going to get a disease, you're going to die. It's just the way it is. Right? Same thing. If you're a person that does not use contraception, the majority of the time, if you are engaging in intercourse, the majority of the time, you're going to have a child. It is what it is. That's just what's going to happen. You're going to get impregnated eventually. It is what it is. And that was probably a bad example, but we've got to just be able to understand the difference between subjective truth and objective truth. And yes, there are certain circumstances where you can have your subjective truth, right? It could be, well, when I lift heavy weights, lifting heavy weights is what gives me the best results. Someone else will say, running and lifting light weights, I get better results. That's fine. That's something that we can agree upon. But when it comes to a lot of important things, like however you want to exercise isn't really an important thing. But when it comes to really important things in this world, really the important discussions, the majority of the time, there is an objective truth. And that's what we need to understand. We need to look at that objective truth. So one thing that I've heard, and I don't know if that was a good explanation on any of that. It might have just been a bunch of mumbo jumbo. Hopefully it helped you. And if not, you need, put some comments in the comment box and add to this conversation. Of course, that's what it's about. We are a community. If you're watching this video, you're a part of this community. Put something in the comment box. But the one thing I think I've heard before, the reason why we lose this objective truth versus subjective truth is that nowadays in school, there's no philosophy classes, which is a deeper thinking class. Like if you talk or if you watch interviews of Richard Dawkins, the biggest atheist, the most popular atheist, written the most books on atheism, and one of the big things he says is, well, that why question is a bunch of crap. Who cares? But if we're not thinking deeply about these topics, you're only going to have a superficial answer, and your superficial answer is going to be, oh, well, that's the way I think about it, so blah blah whatever. I'm not going to talk to you. You're stupid. You don't know. That's the unfortunate thing nowadays too. We don't even want to have that deep conversation to come up with that truth. What is truth? You just say, you're stupid, I don't agree, and you yell at them, and then you walk off. No. That person is challenging you. Like I said, we want to be challenged. We want to be pushed in a new direction. Then you can understand if what you think and your thought process is correct, or if you are wrong. And we can grow. It's like I tell everybody when I read all these self-help books, a majority of the time they have the same concepts. Every once in a while, you'll find a book that has one new concept that's going to help you improve. And if not, you have to keep reading and keep listening to the same thing over and over again until you're able to find that person that you connect with. And then you can follow that person if they have a YouTube channel, a podcast, and grow with that person and learn from that person. But never be afraid to step outside the box and go in a different direction. I just made a video right before this, the 10 things that I think every successful person should do, any person trying to transform their life, any person trying to be a leader. So check that one out. But once again, we got to remember there's objective truth and subjective truth. Objective truth is everything as a whole. This will apply to everyone. And if we only live off of the subjective truth, once again, then you can never tell a person that they're wrong. because what's right for them might not be right for you. So if someone thinks that killing somebody is okay, punching somebody is okay, you put whatever whatever action in that place, you can't say it's wrong because you can't judge them. Because what's right for them might not be right for you. That's if you're living in a subjective world. And we need to understand that we need to find the objective truth and stop looking at subjective truth. So, I hope that helps. Big rant, 10 minutes. If you stood and tuned in for the whole 10 minutes, hopefully that last sentence I just said really clicked with you. Once again, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for supporting me. I hope you're learning. I hope you're growing. I hope you're becoming better. I'm trying to do the same thing every day. We stumble, we fall. All we can do is get back up, dust ourselves off, and keep moving. So, like I said, subscribe to the channel. Let somebody know that this is available. Check out the podcast. Should be on iTunes. By the time this video comes out, it should be on iTunes. And then share, like these videos.